President of the United States, I was present at the first American Congress in Washington, D.C. I shall not slander the fair state of Massachusetts, nor the state of New York.
My fellow citizens, recent events have imposed upon the patriotic people of this country.
Are the American people fit to govern themselves, to rule themselves, to control themselves? I believe they are.
It is the common people of the world that are interested in this business. They know when we have war, it is they that have to bear the burden. It's their sisters and mothers and daughters that have to wait, trembling, to hear the news from the battlefield, to learn whether their dear ones have bitten the dust.
There are some dark pages in the history of the white men's dealings with the Indians, and many parts of the record are stained with the greed and avarice of those who have thought only of their own profits.
We need to hold firmly to all that was ours when war involved us.
Such a sum is difficult to comprehend. It represents all the pay of 5 million wage earners receiving $5 a day, working 300 days in the year.
We must be armed so that no foreign nation will even entertain the dangerous thought of starting over these 3,000 miles of ocean towards us.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
A short time ago, an American airplane dropped one bomb on Hiroshima and destroyed its usefulness to the enemy. That bomb has more power than 20,000 tons of TNT.
So is the very structure of our society. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
But even if we pass this bill, the battle will not be over. What happened in Selma is part of a far larger movement which reaches into every section and state of America.
That I welcome this kind of examination because people have got to know whether or not their president is a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
President?
Yes, sir.
My conclusions are very simply stated. There is only one point on which all advisors have agreed. We must whip inflation right now.
I believe with all my heart that America must always stand for these basic human rights at home and abroad. That is both our history and our destiny.
To ignore the facts of history and the aggressive impulses of an evil empire, to simply call the arms race a giant misunderstanding, and thereby remove yourself from the struggle between right and wrong and good and evil.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order, where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never.
Good evening. Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly terrorist acts.
Good evening. Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children.
The world is witnessing the resurgence of a strong and prosperous America. I'm here to deliver a simple message. There has never been a better time to hire, to build, to invest, and to grow in the United States.
Americans have never, ever, ever, ever let their country down. We've had candidates before who attempted to get elected by appealing to our fears, but they've never succeeded because we do not scare easily. We never bow. We never bend. We never break when confronted with crisis. No, we endure. We overcome, and we always, always, always move forward.